Jai Shri Ram. Canto 114. Valmiki portrays the gloomy appearance of Ayodhya with the help of a number of similes. Bharat enters his father's palace with a heavy heart, speaking to Sumantra about the sorry spectacle which Ayodhya presented at the moment. That is the summary. Now we start with the chapter. Journeying forth in a chariot which produced an agreeable deep sound, the powerful and highly illustrious Bharat duly entered Ayodhya in no time. Haunted by cats and owls, obscured by darkness and devoid of light, with the house doors of its men closed, the city presented the appearance of a dark night. It looked desolate like Rohini, the beloved consort of the moon god, tormented in the form of her spouse, whose better half she is by the planet Rahu in the ascendant, though ordinarily invested with an exceedingly bright splendor by virtue of her glory. It further looked attenuated like a mountain stream whose scanty waters had become hot and agitated due to the rays of the sun, birds living in which were scorched by the sun, and whose fish, small and big, and alligators had disappeared into the mire. It resembled a fully developed tongue of fire, devoid of smoke and bright as gold, later reduced to extinction when sprinkled all over with milk. It looked like an army which had met with reverses in a major conflict, whose armors had been shattered, whose ensigns borne on elephants, horses, and chariots had been torn and whose foremost heroes had been killed. It presented the appearance of an oceanic wave which, though tossed very high by a strong gale with foam and a roar, is rendered noiseless while stirred by a quiet wind. It resembled an altar which, when the period of offering oblations into the sacred fire has completely expired, has been cleared of all sacrificial implements and deserted by the learned priest, and where all sounds has consequently ceased. It looked like a cow fit to be coveted by bulls and longing for copulation, but bereft of an excellent bull and standing disconsolate in a cow pen, refusing to feed on fresh grass. It further resembled a new necklace of pearls, stripped of its highly polished, dazzling, excellent rubies and other gems of superior quality. Again, it presented the appearance of a meteor, suddenly shifted from its position and fallen from the heavens, and consequently shorn of its expanse of light when descended on earth through exhaustion of its merit. It further looked blighted in appearance, like a forest creeper laden with blossom at the close of spring and appearing lovely with drunken bees surrounding it, but later on scorched by a raging wildfire. The entire city, with its trafficless streets and markets carrying on a dull business, resembled a cloudy sky and the moon and other stars obscured. With its streets and lanes unswept and full of rubbish, Ayodhya presented the appearance of a deserted and uncleaned tavern strewn with broken vessels devoid of any excellent liquor, the wine drinkers having been killed. Again, it looked like a shed erected for storage and distribution of water, but now broken and collapsed, with its platform raised and sunk and covered with broken vessels, its water having been used up. It further resembled a bowstring, broad and long, extended over the entire length of a bow, with a noose at both ends in order to fasten it to the bow, severed from the bow by the arrows of heroes and fallen to the ground. It further resembled a mare spurred on precipitately by a horseman skilled in warfare and fallen down when killed by the opposite army. Seated in his chariot, the glorious Bharat, son of Dashrath, for his part, spoke as follows to the charioteer Sumantra, who was driving the foremost of the king's chariots. How is it, I wonder, that the deep and resonant sound of vocal and instrumental music is not heard as before in Ayodhya today? The intoxicating fragrance of spirituous liquor, the scent of flowers, and the odor of sandalwood and aloe wood, which once used to be spread on all sides, is not being wafted. Sri Ram having been sent into exile, neither the noise of the foremost of chariots, nor the most delightful neighing of horses, neither the trumpeting of highly excited elephants, nor the great noise of chariots is heard in this city now. Sore distressed on Sri Ram having departed from Ayodhya, indeed, young men here no longer use the paste of aloe wood and sandalwood, nor costly garlands of sylvan flowers to cool their body with, nor do men go out for excursion wearing wreaths of various flowers. Festivities no longer duly proceed in the capital, stricken as it is with grief caused by separation from Sri Ram. The former splendor of the city has truly speaking, undoubtedly departed with my elder brother Sri Ram. This Ayodhya, with tears flow from the eyes of its citizens, does not look charming any more than the night of a bright fortnight, with a continuous shower. Oh, when will my elder brother, returned to Ayodhya like a great festival, bring forth joy in Ayodhya like a rainy cloud in summer? The highways no longer shine forth with young men clad in an attractive garb and walking with a proud gait, pouring into Ayodhya from outside. Immediately on penetrating into the heart of Ayodhya, Bharat, who was talking in the above strain with his charioteer Sumantra, at that time stricken as he was with agony, entered his father's palace, which looked desolate like a cave without a lion, bereft as it was of that ruler of men. Sore distressed to gaze at that moment on the well-known gynecium, which having shed its splendor resembled a day without the sun, bewailed by gods, and was untidy everywhere. Bharat, who though self-possessed, shed tears. Thus ends Canto 114 in the AYODHYAKAND of the glorious Ramayan of Valmiki, the work of a rishi and the oldest epic. Jai Shri Ram.